Now I'm joined. Well, one of the new for scams that people like to pounce on is via landlines. Now, what you might not know is landlines are currently facing quite big changes. To tell us a little more about it, Kelly Ball is here from Foley. Good morning.
Morning, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. So landlines are changing, aren't they?
They are indeed. So Openreach, back in 2017, Openreach announced the PSTN switch off, which essentially means that they're going to be decommissioning the analog lines that we're all used to using. And anyone wanted to keep a landline following January 2027 are going to have to go over to a digital landline service. So they can keep their number, they could keep their telephone, that's not going to change. But just the way the calls are coming into those individuals will change. They'll come in via the internet.
And what does that mean as far as scams?
So we know the majority of people who are likely to keep hold of their landline following that deadline are going to be those that are older adults, those that are most vulnerable. They have that as a backup most of the time. We also know that older adults, some of those that are most vulnerable, are disproportionately targeted by scammers. So building the digital landline service that we have for Phonely, we knew that we had a responsibility to make sure that our customers were going to be protected because we know they're a target. So
explain how Phonely works.
So Phonely is, as I said, it's at its core, it's a landline service. So we kind of help people transition over to the digital platform, keeping their number, allowing them to port that over, and also keeping their handset. We've got lots of built-in anti-scam protection, and that's part technical and part human intervention as well. So the technical side include features like an anti-fraud intro. So if somebody calls you and they're not on your friends and family list, they'll hear an introduction, something along the lines of, the person you're calling is protected by Phonely. Your call will be recorded and shared with the third party. And we actually ran a pilot with Greater Manchester Police that showed that most of the time people will hang up the call. They don't want to be recorded. They've got plenty of people to move on to. So that's a really, really good deterrent, very effective. And the human element is by way of a trusted person. So we allow you to pick who that is. Somebody you trust, a family member, a friend, a neighbour even. They will download an app to their smartphone. So if a particular call type comes in, an international call, for example, which isn't typical for you, they will be alerted in real time. So it allows them, if you allow them to enter the call. They can join the call in real time, make sure you're okay. If you don't quite like that, because that is a little bit intrusive, then you do have also the ability to invite them in yourself. So if that's really useful for lots of reasons.
And it's funny because when you mentioned the fact that, anybody calling would be told or informed the call is being recorded. And then when you also talk about the opportunity to, sometimes it's all you need is to get a second person's opinion on something. That sounds like if you were a scammer, you just, as you so rightly said, I'll move on to someone else.
Of course you would, absolutely. That third person's going to ruin everything. It's going to ruin your day. So, you've got someone who's in a vulnerable situation or busy even. If somebody's busy, they're your best candidate for it. If you can get somebody else in just to kind of add some reasoning and say, well, let's just digest, let's just think about this a minute. We can always come back to it. That's all you need.
Again, it's something that, everyone who I've spoken to has said the importance of stepping back just for 1 second, 1 minute, have a cup of tea, whatever it might be. It's been expressed in so many different ways. But the actual idea is to take yourself out of that moment of, that impulse moment and think about something.
Absolutely. And what scammers do really, really well is create that sense of urgency. The scare tactics they use are really effective. But if you can just, like you just rightly said, just take yourself out for a moment. Nothing bad is going to happen if you take 5 minutes. Offer to call that person back on the actual advertised number. And if you can use a different number to do that and a different phone in the house to do that, then even better.
That tells me about this map.
So the map, the heat map, UK's first scam new map, shows us where in the UK scams are being reported. So we have our own Who Called Me page. So a lot of people will be familiar with something similar. It's a page anyone can use, and we encourage as many people as possible to use ours, because it will help us protect our base as well. But it'll allow you to go on, report a suspicious call, a suspicious number, and within the hour of that being reported, typically, we will add it to our internal block list. So anyone using the Phonely platform, regardless of what plan you've chosen, they will get that layer of protection. If we see a call coming in from that dodgy number to any of our customers, we stop it in its tracks. We block it straight away. The importance of being able to do that so quickly is purely because how easy it is now for scammers to change their telephone number. They can change it instantly. So, you know, in a week's time, they're going to be attempting you on a different number. So blocking it, there and then is really important. And of course, the map allows us to keep an eye on current trends, anything new happening as well, emerging trends. We can see what's seasonal, what's going on all over the UK by region.
And when you talk about regions, do you see scams that hit certain regions of the UK at certain times, or is it just quite broad and widespread?
It's relatively broad. I mean, Phony's been around for a couple of years now. The scam is a little bit newer than that. The scam math is a bit newer than that. So we are still learning a lot from it. We do notice that a lot of scams are seasonal to the parcel scams and things like that. Obviously, are prevalent at Christmas. So, you know, we can spot things like that. But generally, it's kind of consistent throughout the UK. It's kind of pretty much the same everywhere.
Which is, just nice to know and disappointing at the same time.
It really is. But yeah, at least, it's useful information so we can act upon it when we need to, and we can make sure people are educated. So
Where can people find out more?
they can go to our website, www.phonely.co.uk. Obviously, come and see us at events like this if you see it advertised, and also our telephone number, our main telephone number. Quite a small team, so we're there sort of ready to wait, to pick a phone up to you if you want to have a chat as well.
Fabulous. Thank you for talking to me.
Problem. Nice to meet you.
I've gone down.